War is inevitable.
Wait, your boyfriend's only 7 years old?
You've made the right choice.
Oh, we got his dad joke in.
Time! Martin, come!
6 kids with 4 different dads, and I forget which 2 are adopted.
I'm a wizard!
All we do is fight and die over and over. Split push!
Victory is ours!
Howdy,
Wait.
folks.
Wait.
Beagle forgot
You
how to
guys-
clap.
No, you guys lagged, so I just kind of like stopped, and my clap just was like nothing.
Ah.
Her hands just barely didn't meet,
And
and we're like, oh,
I
I don't know
and I
what
was
to
like,
do.
wait.
Like I know
I
how to
hardly
clap.
even slapped my hands. Like, wait,
Mhm,
what? Did that lag, or did you not say it?
She's lying. She just missed.
No,
Again.
I didn't
So
miss.
anyway, hey, you can hear who's with me today already. I got Beagle Girl here.
Sup?
Dirt Nap Dan,
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
the quiet guy over there in the corner.
What's up, everyone?
No Yuki tonight, unfortunately.
You
work
know-
and school calleth.
You know, who Guy kind of reminds me of?
Who's
Some
Sometimes.
guy.
Guy kind of reminds me of
Tom
Strider
Cruise?
from Lord of the Rings when he's
Oh.
like in the corner, just over there, like smoking his pipe, just chilling, and everyone's like,
Kind of
Going
there.
straight.
Keeping an eye on things.
he's real quiet.
Mhm.
Nobody talks about him. Then all of a sudden, you get him into the battleground, and he's a badass motherfucker. That's Guy.
And then after the battle, he won't talk about it.
That's right.
He's just like, all right, cool.
All right,
That
well, hey,
happened.
you guys are deterring from my fabulous intro here because there is still one more person that I get to introduce tonight. And that,
I wanted it to be
Is-
extra special.
oh, wow, she's still interrupting. But
Extra,
hey,
extra
that's because it is extra special here from Exilium Gaming. It's Kaimberlyn.
Hey there.
Howdy, howdy. How you doing?
I'm good. Could you tell what god that hey there was from?
I did.
Oh,
It's
I know.
from
Yeah.
Discordia's voice pack.
there you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
'cause
I
she's
think
sassy.
she would really enjoy.
Bologna
our
also says
Discordia
"Hey there"
skin
though in her one
concept.
voice pack, but I knew who you were talking about.
We'll have to,
'cause-
Dad. We'll have to talk about that.
Oh, what? My skin choice.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
Discordia.
we'll get there. We'll,
We'll
get
get
there.
there.
We'll save that. Yeah.
We'll get there, but-
Definitely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But before we dive into things here today, Cameron, why don't you just take a few minutes here and inform the podcast folks out there what's going on with who you are, what your deal with Smite is, why you have a cat, and so forth.
All right, cool. This is the part that I get to spend like 2 hours on, right?
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Have
Floor's
fun.
yours.
Good deal. Live
That makes
stream.
our
So I
job
was born
really
I'll be
in-
back.
Just kidding. I am Kaimberlyn. I am the founder of Exilium Gaming, as was said before. Let's see. By day, I'm a realtor. I'm also a mom of 6, which a lot of people find shocking. And I get the what 6? Like a lot. 4 biological,
Yeah.
two adopted. Don't
I
know which
stopped
is
at
which
3,
anymore.
and I'm just like, 6.
Don't
My
know
eyes
which
got
is which
real
anymore.
big right there.
Yeah, I tell
Oh.
people all the time that I've got 6 kids with 4 different dads, and I forget which 2 are adopted. So, and then I just don't explain, and it just really throws them off. So, anyway, so lots of busy life. Exilium Gaming. I've been a gamer since I was probably about 18, and I fell in love with gaming because I had kids at a really young age, and so as my kids were little and I was home a lot, I found that I could game and still be social and still be home with my babies because, I wasn't going anywhere. So that's kind of how I got into gaming. 35 now, so I've been doing it quite a while. I've always been a builder of sorts. So like, no matter which game I'm in, I always find it much more fun to have a good community of people to play it with because for me, I'm not a solo game type of person. If I'm in a game, it's going to be socially with other people. So when I started Smite, I very quickly learned that I needed people to play it with. I started Smite because my boyfriend, we had only been together a short time, but he was playing Smite and I had never played a MOBA. So I decided I would give it a go and very quickly learned, like I said, I wanted people to play with. So I did a post on Reddit asking if anybody would be willing to kind of play with someone that was really bad at the game and
Mhm.
explain it to me and things like that. And a few people responded. And from there, we started, like, I guess, collecting people. And that has turned into the almost 800 members we have now in Exilium. So we have grown at a really rapid rate. We are a gaming org. We do play multiple games, but our biggest focus is on Smite. We focus a lot on competitive, but we also love our casual players. So we try to find things to give both sides. We want to help our competitive players push however far they want to get, and we want to help our casual players fulfill the goal of just having fun and playing with quality people. So anyone's welcome to join Exilium, as long as you're not a douchebag. That's pretty much our only
Damn
requirement.
it! I'm
is
cut off
Yeah.
again.
You gotta be nice. So
Don't be a douche. You know,
don't be a douche.
hard.
Not that
You would
hard.
think that that's
Yeah,
not,
it's not that
hard,
hard.
but I feel like for some people it's hard.
it is. Just for some people, it's just in their nature. You know,
Right.
and you know, bless their hearts. You know, it is what it is for them. But you know, you come across them where you know you don't do anything to spite them, but yet they still feel the need to be that way. Like, oh, okay, that's up to you, buddy.
Dad, just
Yeah.
because he's not here doesn't mean you can talk about him like that. Jeez.
Does he go back and listen to the episodes he's not on?
I don't know, Beagle. I don't know.
You'll know soon, right?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Nobody tell
You-
him.
you
Just
think
wait and
you-
see if
yeah,
he
yeah.
brings it
Don't
up.
tell him, and we'll see if he
You're
listens.
gonna find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's yep. But
Yeah.
yeah. So you were saying earlier that you guys are running some tournaments too, right?
We are. We do quarterly tournaments, and tomorrow, which by the time this podcast released, this will probably be done and over with. But tomorrow,
Yeah. So
Saturday.
tell us all about what happened, not what's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. So we had a great tournament. We have 22 teams signed up with, we probably would have had 30, but we cut off our tournament signups at a certain time, and there's always 4 or 5 teams that message saying, hey, I missed the cutoff. Can we still be added? And unfortunately, we can't add people at that point because we have to create the bracket and do the soft seeding and all of that. But we're super stoked for this one. We have Deathwalker, Wolfie, Alpha Jackal, and JMac coming in to help us with the streaming part of that. They're going to commentate, cast, let us interview them, things like that. So the support that we're starting to get from the community is just amazing. We did a fundraiser stream this past week on Matt Accountant's Twitch, which Matt Accountant is our official streamer of Exilium, and he's amazing. So if you're not following him, definitely follow him, guys. But we did a fundraiser. Our goal was $240, and we ended up at the end of the night with over 1,000. So it was
Nice.
pretty
Nice.
insane. What we really found is that the Smite community is hungry for these kind of events. They want the gameplay. They want, ranked is not everyone's favorite thing. It's not necessarily a fun experience. And so we feel like what we do in Exilium is like we create higher quality game play. So whether it's in-houses, whether it's our tournaments, whether it's our leagues or our squads, which I can talk about the differences between all those in a little while. But no matter what it is, we want to provide a positive experience for people that they can learn from, grow from, and have fun with. So that's kind of the goal.
Nice. Yeah, a guy was
like
telling me about the charity stream.
It was insane. I literally was sitting in my chair with tears running down my face because for me, seeing the community support has just been like unreal because Exilium is like, it's my dream. It's what I want. Whether Smite comes or goes, like Exilium will still be. And it was just really cool to see everyone get behind, what we were doing. And just like be so generous. I thought once we hit the goal, everybody would just stop donating, right? Because like we passed it. And that's not what they did. They just kept giving. So pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
it is pretty amazing. Beagle, she listens to a few other, not podcasts, but, streamers, I guess, and they do a lot of
Yeah.
charity stuff too. I know
They
we've,
do monthly charity live streams, actually. It's pretty cool. They can usually raise at least like $100,000.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, it is amazing, the communities out here. And I mean, like you said, that the community's hungry for it. Going back to that for a moment. Reminds me earlier, I was just thinking, a lot of the Smite community itself has this reputation for being toxic. But from what I've seen, while there is toxicity in the game, you're always going to have that in PvP. That the Smite community is actually not that bad. I mean, like you said, you reached out to people and they helped you learn how to play the game. That happened when I was playing the game. Just people reached out to me and said, "Hey, you look pretty new. Here's some tips." And that was pretty awesome.
He still gets those messages sometimes. But...
I don't know what you're talking about. No, I just get bad messages because my level's high enough that they, it's just feeder. Sometimes you're going to feed. I'll tell you what. I've watched good players on, streaming, YouTube, whatever. I've seen the best of players feed at times. It's just
Absolutely.
Sometimes somebody has your number, or you just have a string of bad luck in a row. You come around the corner and there's all 5 of them. Like what?
Oh yeah, that definitely
shit happens in Smite.
Definitely does.
Especially if you get a string of them.
Yeah, I was watching the Mad Accountant stream the other night. He was really, really fun to watch. His chat was really great also.
Yeah, so Count and I met, I was in a casual game, and I was still very new to Smite, and I did pretty terribly. He was on the opposing team, and when we got out of the game, he posted his Twitch in the lobby chat, and was like, "Hey, good game," and I was like, "Well, I played pretty terribly," but he was so nice that I was like, "Yeah, I want to go check out his Twitch," so I did, and that was back then when he averaged like 10 viewers, maybe. Now he averages like 50. But he is so community driven, community focused. We are the best of buddies. He is, I can't say enough good things about him. If you guys don't follow him, definitely do, because I feel like he's the best Smite streamer out there right now. So
that's saying a lot too, but hey, you gotta feed your brand too. I mean, it's just one of those things where, when you like people, you like people. I'm actually checking out, went over to make sure I was following because I know the name, to make sure I am following. I see, he is hosting now. We are Exilium.
Yes.
Who's that guy? I like his beard. That's why I'm bringing him up.
He has a great beard.
Yes, he does.
I'm
sitting here like I'm looking at my beard. I'm like, I'm jealous.
His beard right now is relatively short because it was something like a sub goal. If he got so many subs at the end of last year, he would shave it, and he did shave it this year. So he's still growing it back, but it'll get much longer. But everybody loves the beard. I actually got to meet him at HRX. So Exilium took about 30 people to Worlds last year, and we rented a big Airbnb, and everyone just stayed together, and I cooked for everybody, and like Count and his best friend Cobra, who they started streaming kind of together, but Cobra's kind of stopped streaming a little bit. But they're both great. They're both admins in Exilium. They're both really involved, but they came over for dinner. We had a great time hanging out. Just super solid dudes. So yeah, he's hosting Exilium. Tonight we did a bracket reveal stream, which Guy was talking about. He was part of that. Mm-hmm. So we did the bracket reveal too, because teams are always very interested in where they're seated and who they're playing. We did all that. We revealed the prize pool. So we did that in a stream together, and then he rated and hosted the We Are Exilium Twitch, which we've just started that. We've probably been doing it about a month, maybe a little bit more than that now. But we try to keep content on our Twitch. Different community streamers stream from our channel. And it's anything from like people like me, who is like a silver level, bronze level sometimes player, up to masters and grandmasters.
Hey, we got something in common.
Well, keep in mind, because I've only been playing Smite since like March of last year, so just a year. And to be honest, once Exilium kind of took off, most of my time goes into running and managing the org, because it is definitely a full-time job. Thankfully,
I can imagine.
My job kind of allows
I just
that
do the podcast here, and I'm in charge of the editing and all that. So, not only do I get to sit down, for a couple hours, and record each week, then I got to bug these guys to make sure I get all their tracks and then put them all together. And, it is a job,
It
but
definitely is.
I love what I'm doing. I mean, I love the skills that I'm building. I love, the product that's coming out. I love the positive feedback that we get, and all that. And it's just a great experience.
For sure. I can imagine that would be getting to know all the different people and
Mm-hmm. And all the great guests that you get to have on the show too. And, that in itself is more than enough, payment for what we do. Just
That says
some of
a
the
lot
people
about
you get to talk to.
the Smite community itself. We get so many people there that work for High Res, that are just big streamers. Everybody's so willing to talk about Smite that's in the community.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I don't think it's as bad as people think. I think it's just that, the squeaky wheels are the loudest,
For sure. And, a lot of those people that you run into that are like super toxic in games and stuff, a lot of those people, they're not attached to any communities. They're not really involved in the scene. And then the other group that sadly I found can be pretty harsh are the level of players that are below SML, but above your average Masters player. That group, they are like some of the worst egos that I've ever experienced. Like pro players are so much more open and welcoming to us as an org and to me as a new person in this my community. They're so much more open than some of those players. Like some of the top Combine teams, they can be really just not very warm or welcoming. So
yeah, no, like you said, we've had a lot of big names on it, and that's been great. I love it. It's just
yeah. You guys had one of our coaches, Alpha Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
hopefully
last week.
someone bigger, if he would just check his DMs.
Oh yeah. So go ahead, Beagle. do a shout out here. What's going on?
Well, one of my favorite streamers recently started to try and play Smite. And the entire time, I'm like screaming at my phone, no, you're doing the wrong thing. You're supposed to do this and do that. And we were thinking if we can get him on, we could have an episode basically where we just talk about the basics of how to play Smite and get his perspective since he's a new player and he doesn't really know much about the game. He's never played it before. I should say they, not he, not just him, because I want to try and get both.
And who is it that we're talking about?
Brian and Amelia Deckert.
All right,
They are
so
my
if anybody else out
favorite
there,
streamers.
listening to podcasts, watches those folks, give a shout. You want to get them on the show.
Yes, I would love to be able to talk about Smite with them. Like, they want to learn how to play. I want to teach them how to play. I have PS4. They have PS4. It will work out great. I'm telling you. And, I'm a very active person in what we call the Connor Army because he plays a guy named Connor in a game. And, well, it would just be perfect. Like, he already knows who I am, like, my username, but it would be great to actually get to talk to him on here and about Smite and teach him how to play.
For sure. That'd be awesome.
The fun part is they were doing a tutorial and what happened? Like they weren't able to finish it or something.
Okay, the tutorial just like was not working for them, and so they got frustrated and just said, you know what, screw it, let's just get in a match. And I was like, oh god, you have no idea. That's just a big mistake. Like this game, you have to learn how to play before just jumping in.
That's a big ripperino right there.
Yeah, like I don't know, he kept getting stuck. He kept, like, basically, when they're trying to buy the item, the game, like, wouldn't let them buy it. And, there were people there from Smite, because it was a sponsored stream, trying to help him. So, like, it just kind of didn't work. He had to restart the app, like, 3 times. So eventually he gave up. He's like, you know what, let's just play a game. Who cares?
Yeah, I remember seeing Titan Cupcake was there. Who else was it?
Cupcake, Clumsy, and Isaiah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They were there. I don't know for sure if there's anyone else. I said I was going to hang out in the stream chat, but I ended up, so like I could see what they're saying, but I ended up moving to a subscriber room anyway, just because most of my friends are in there anyway. So, but most of the time I wasn't talking to them. I was just screaming like I was just saying, no, you're doing this wrong. You gotta do this. I was just spitting advice.
The best part was when they were trying to clear a buff, they would attack it and then
move
out of the circle.
They would keep trying to basic it, and then he'd move out of the circle. It's like, well, I want you to stop attacking me, but I'm trying to attack you. It's like, this is why you need to play the tutorial.
Yeah. One of the cool things that we're doing kind of on that topic is we're in the process of getting a website going. And there is a lack of Smite content. And one of the things that we're doing is we're having our higher level players create content videos on different things. Like we just had one of our players do a video on how to tell if a god is early game, mid game, or late game, and like how to identify that, as well as team comps. Like, you know, you'll hear them say, well, this is a really early game team comp. And a lot of people don't really know what they're saying that off of. So like that was just one example of a video, but we're also doing a Conquest 101 Beginner's Guide to Conquest. And we're going to make a series of videos, and it will be like showing, you know, what characters go in which, or what gods go in which roles and which lanes, and how to do the laning phase and how to rotate and what buffs you should be doing and things like that. So I think that's going to be super helpful, because then like Beagle, when you have a friend that wants to play, you can just link them to these beginner videos, and they're going to be way more helpful than the in-game tutorial.
Yeah, that would be great. Like, I mean, even if like he does come on, I don't like expect him to actually I mean, he said in a stream, the last stream, he said that he wants to hopefully try and play with other people. And like, I have a PS4, he's playing on PS4, this like never happens, but this never happens.
You know,
Everyone else I
PS4
watch play on
island,
PC. So yeah, I mean, like, big shout out to them. They're great. If like they stream almost every single day except for Mondays, and most of the time they stream Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Sometimes they don't.
Beagle. All right.
Hey, I'm almost done. If you don't know who they are, go follow them because they are great.
What were their names again?
You can continue. Brian and Amelia Deckart. Their Twitch is just Brian Deckart.
Deckart spelled weird.
So you just need a bunch of people listening to go into their stream chat and just start saying, "Hey, you need to play Smite with Beagle." There you go.
There you go. That's the plan.
I mean, a lot more people than I thought were like, "Yeah, I heard of Smite. You should totally play it." Like I asked before in stream chats, like, "Hey, has anyone played? Because I need friends." But this is like way before this. Just trying to like reach out to people. Nobody seemed to know what it was. Everyone was like, "Nah, sorry." And then this time when he said, "Anybody ever play Smite?" Everybody's like, "Oh my god, I love that game." Blah blah blah.
The fangirls cometh out.
I don't know. It's not. It wouldn't be as exciting. Like, okay, I don't know how to say it. Like, it wouldn't be as exciting if I met like someone like Jack, for example, because I've been like watching his videos for years. So like, it's kind of different. They're more of like, they like are more like internet friends that we don't know like each other personally. I guess I don't know.
So back to Smite.
Yeah.
Because if we let her go, she will continue to fangirl for quite a while.
Oh my god, I stopped.
See,
I
look,
literally
she's still
said,
going.
"Go follow them," and now you're all freaking stupid.
Now you're all freaking stupid, huh? That's
anyway.
your response.
You know,
Move on.
I'm going to move things on because, you know, we haven't actually talked about a whole lot of games of the week recently, and there's some games we've been playing recently I think, you know, some of us would probably like to talk about. And, you know, I don't know. Who should we throw out there first? You know what? Actually, I know who's going to go first this week. I know damn well who's going to go first. I'm just going to ask first, Guy, do you want to do it or should I?
You go right ahead because I don't even remember my games of the week.
I'm not talking about your games or my games or Dan's games or Beagle's games. I'm talking about Herb's.
Yeah, you go ahead. You talking about the Raw?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
My God. So, Guy's son Herg. This was amazing. So hold on. Let me get it loaded up, and I don't need that volume up. So he's Ra, okay, and he is like 108 health, and he's kind of cornered where the tower used to be. He gets a circle down, but all of his enemies are almost beat too. He dodges the Ninja ult, gets turned around, and with one beam kills 3 people. 3 people.
He's also dodging a Rama ult.
Yeah, so I was about to say.
Yeah, well, there was a lot happening. I couldn't spit it all out that fast. Damn it.
God.
Like, when I first watched this video, I didn't even know that there was 3 people. Yeah, he's dodging the Ram ult while he's in the healing circle. He dodges the Ninja ult. And who else is there? Nemesis showed up, too.
No, there's a Pele.
Isn't it? Was it Pele?
Pele,
I don't know.
yeah.
A lot of people died right there.
It's Pele, Rom, and
Nemesis. Yeah.
is it
That was the third one. Yeah.
Choose
I'm looking
that.
at it. But yeah, his
Yeah,
health
yeah.
was just, it was 106 when the video starts. You can check it out. It's in our Discord. But dude, this was just an amazing play. And yeah,
By the
he's
way,
a little
I just wanna point
overzealous
this
at
out.
times, but
Hold on, just real quick. When his beam killed all 3 people, he was at 22 health.
yeah, that's what I was building up to there. But
Oh.
you got it.
And they
It's getting up to
insta-quit.
that low health
Insta surrendered.
Yeah, and
That's
then it was an
pretty
instant
amazing.
surrender after that. He was 7-1-3 at that moment. High five. But yeah, high five. Big high five out there. That was, 10
Even
and a
I will
half
give you
minutes
credit.
into the
Nice
game.
job.
Somebody's get that boy on a team.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, like, he said the same thing I did. Nobody at our schools plays Smite, and I don't like the people at my school anyway. They suck.
He makes me so mad because he'll say, I'm going to go get a pentakill. And Resident gets a pentakill. It's like, what the fuck?
And
Yeah,
he says, I'm gonna go get another one. Almost does, but he doesn't deserve it, so.
yeah, we were talking about that last week. That was great there too, because he just done said, I'm gonna go get a pentakill, and out, and he did. That's just what he did. So
Wow.
yeah,
It's impressive.
I have 8,
And then
but
he
I
started
can't
talking
walk out and
smack,
say I'm going to
And
get
when
it.
he said he wanted to get another one, I stole it.
He was going to get another one too, and Beagle stole it.
Don't talk smack.
He was like once basic away from having another pentakill. I was like, holy shit.
yep, that was a good one, Beagle. Took the
Well,
fourth one,
like
though,
I
not the
said,
fifth.
he should have kept his mouth shut.
Well, and to be fair, you were playing Ymir. We all know how you are. So
You were playing for your Smite career because the words right out of your mouth before he jumped in was, if you get another pentakill, I'm quitting Smite.
yeah,
Double kill, triple
Then she
kill. I'm
got
like,
scared.
oh shit.
Yeah.
She took that
shit,
fourth.
Oh, shit.
So wait,
Low
who was
health.
on the Raw? Your brother?
Oh, this is
My
no,
son.
this is Guy's son.
Guy's son. Okay.
Yeah, he was he's been popping off lately. Let's just leave it at that.
Guy's son is
Popping
really
off.
good at the game, and then there's other guy's son.
Wow,
So mean.
wow, Dan.
I
better hope
love
he doesn't
other
listen to
guy's
this.
son. He's really cocky and funny, but he's a little young.
Oh,
yet.
you mean bridge bait?
Yeah,
Dude, I enjoy playing Smite with both Guy's sons.
I do. But Other Herd
Kids.
is
Wow.
insanely
Herd.
good.
Yeah,
Big Herd
the
is
one-
insanely good. I mean, like, I got against him in duel one time while we were in a party chat, just like playing ranked duel, and I never dreamed that this would happen where I would actually fight him, but I did, and he literally, like, I had nothing to do. I was playing Hell and he was playing Cerberus. He just kicked my ass so fast.
When did this happen? I never heard about this.
He didn't. He repressed that memory right away.
No, Guy
Memory.
was. I think Guy was there, or maybe he heard about it right after or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard about it.
So what I'm hearing is Guy is better than Dan.
No,
I mean, I took him
Guy
out
beat
one-on-one.
Herg. in a
I could
duel.
beat Guy easy.
Oh boy, that's what Herg said.
You
too.
won't even try me. Like, I know how to play it
Yeah,
now.
but who did Herg play? Fucking King
He played
Arthur. You
King
dumbass.
Arthur.
So do you guys play ranked or do you guys just play casual?
I play ranked a little bit.
I
Mm.
played
haven't
ranked a
season
very
yet.
small amount.
I told myself I would this year, but it's so unmotivating.
I like ranked joust because we can play as a team.
Yeah.
So we'll do little periodic bouts of that. I do duel occasionally, but duel
Yeah.
in the end, whenever I run into that player, it says, I know how to exploit duels to the maximum. I'm going to stay under tower. I'm going to do all these stupid things that makes the game last a half an hour. And then I know how to kill you this one time.
You don't want to play me then.
And you'll lose. I cannot stand that because I get
I
so
can't-
impatient that I just dive under Titan. I don't care. And
And then he messages the person afterwards. You're baby, come out of
you're like,
tower.
yes. It's called a duel. Not I sit here and kill minions and do nothing for 30 minutes.
It's called win however you got to win.
Yeah, I just no.
Yeah, I mean, I play
I'm
duel
too
every now and
aggressive,
then.
man. I need to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
I need to
But,
deserve
yeah,
my
I get
wins.
impatient.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
very-
I
I play a lot of
specifically
duel
remember
too,
the last time I
honestly.
dueled, and it was that time. It was one of those times I'm like, I'm just kicking this person's ass over and over again. But she was a Scotty, so she could always get away. And it was just like, and I had her, under Titan. But I can't fucking, bull demon that. So it was just like, I can only do so fucking much here. And, and then she backdoored me on top of it all. I'm like, wow, you don't even have the guts to come down the lane. You got to sprint past me and just go for it, huh? Kids these
Sounds like you
days.
got
Okay,
somebody
can
got a
I just say,
little
I only
salty.
did that once because she just literally just would not. Like, I don't even know. I don't really remember the game that well, but I remembered I got really annoyed because she was making the game drag on forever. And I was Apollo, so I opted over and just killed the Titan. It was half health anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I get,
Like-
look, I'm not complaining in the sense that, hey, it's not fair. It's more than fair. You're quite,
It's just BM, bro.
quite fine to do it.
I,
It's just not me. And to me, I see it as a sign of weakness. Like, come on.
I went
let's
on like
fucking
a
fight.
little spree of playing Apollo in Duel, and oh my god, I kicked so many people's butts. It was freaking funny. Because, like, guys, I don't even play Apollo. I was just like, I don't know, he has a good ult to escape.
What
I don't
about
know.
you, Kaimberlyn? Are you aggressive or a passive player?
It depends. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on if I'm really comfortable with the god that I'm on, and it depends on if I trust my team. So
I
Yeah.
get that.
the way that I started
I play with
Smite,
the same people, and I don't always trust them.
yeah.
Oh, I
well-
don't trust any of you.
Yeah, my immediate thought was, wait, we're supposed to trust these nincompoops? No thanks.
I trust that Herg's going to be bold and pull off shit like that, but it is go big or go home. And I trust that Dan's going to be solid. I trust that I'll be out of position because I thought that they were going to do things that they normally do, but they decided not to.
See, that's the thing
Yeah.
about Smite, is you can't expect the expectable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Expect the expectable.
Yeah. You gotta expect the unexpected.
That's incredible.
Uh-huh.
But you know what you gotta expect to be awesome? Is my buddy Jorgen Mander. I don't know if I said that right.
Jorgen
I think
Jorman
that was-
Gander. It's
Jorgen
close.
Gander, there it is. I'm like, shit, yeah. When I think about it, I can't say it. And,
Jurgen, Bergen, Durgen.
but I've been playing a fair amount of him, and the more I play him, the more I like him. He's just fucking great. Even in arena, I didn't think he would be as good in arena, but he's solid. Dude, his combo, his 3-1-2 combo is a punch to the face. Oh, that is a great one.
Yeah, I need to take him into the jungle.
Yeah.
It really
Right.
depends. I find people that can have knockups and can put CCs on them and put this passive on them. You can really burn them down real quick.
Dude,
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the funny part was against the Alpwash, like, oh, I can melt your bodies like real quick.
Yeah.
The only problem was he wouldn't attack me. He knew better. He hey Dan, how's your ass feel today?
What? Fuck that
That
outwash, dude. Oh my god.
Like, all right, I can't attack anywhere near the Jorgen monster, so I'm gonna go ahead and just attack this other guy.
That was so annoying. The entire game, he only went for me, and I could not for the life of me do anything. It was
Mhm.
walk up, take half my health, run away. And it was like, oh my god. And no matter how much defense I built, it didn't matter, because he built Magus Obshard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude,
So if I built too little to
and it was a
avoid
joust, so it's just
if I
It
went
is
too
what it
little
is.
to avoid the Obshard penetration, the Magus would fucking make it true damage. If I went too high, it didn't matter because it was Obsidian Shard.
But I will say, I love Yormi's ult. Oh,
That looks really fun. I haven't played him yet.
It not only does it look cool, but what you can do with it is awesome. And
Scatter
one of
the ants.
Yes, it is. You scatter the ants. He needs a giant ant eater skin because that's what it is. You go up and you're just like, "Rrrr," and they scatter. So you
Wait,
can
wait,
basically
Can we
herd
get that
them.
tugboat
Wait, what
sound
was
effect
that?
again?
How did you
Was
do
that a
that again?
soundboard?
Dude, that's when he comes out of the ground. It's like the trumpets, just right out, man. I'll tell you.
So who's gonna make
in this arena.
Hold on. Who's gonna make the account that's now her, so that Herg and her can play together?
I don't know.
We need a whole sound effect team.
It was a Jorgen man. Yeah, Jorg arena match. Okay, and he ulted first as both teams were kind of coming out of fountains, and he ulted first and was just like boldly going ahead. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just both go ahead and do it, right? Because his whole team was coming towards me, so I ulted and just kind of flopped down in front of them, and they all kind of threw the brakes on. And my second one, they're all running back away to get away from it. Third one, I go back into the mid because their Jorg's dead now because the 4 of my guys focused him down. I was like, yep, that's what I love about the ult. You don't even have to hit people. You can just herd them away like the sheep that they are.
Were any of you guys with me this week when we had that arena game that had it was a double Jormungandr and a double Morgan in our game?
Yes.
Ew.
Oh, it was the worst. There was like 4 Jormungandr ults going off at the
that's
same
awful.
time.
Oh,
That
This
is
the worst game
awful.
I've ever played in my life.
no, you know what
That
you just
sounds
reminded me though? One of my Gundar games,
What?
there was a Chablanque and a the Morgan on the enemy team. And it was just dong, 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 dong. Dong, dong, dong. I was like, son of a bitch. As if one's not bad. Now I gotta sit through 2.
Mm.
I
that's
could not
rough.
deal with that. I would sit in fountain.
Oh, it was horrible.
I hate
But
Shiwalanke
the
ult with
funny
a
thing
burning
was,
passion.
they weren't messing with me during that time. So, like, while it was annoying, I'm like, this is annoying, but I don't know who they're focusing, but it ain't me. I ain't seen a thing. Like, literally.
We ain't seen shit.
Yeah.
I hate that ult so much because it's like there's nothing to counter it, and you're just dead. If they're anywhere near you, you're just dead.
Yeah. That's,
And it's
Yep.
like, God damn it.
But Jorg, he's the man. I really like him. Really, 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 really do. But you know who else I really like? And I should not be allowed to focus playing this guy. That's Sun Wukong. Oh my goodness, he is just so fun. That arena, it was the 5 of us. Yuki was there too. And
Ew.
that was during the triple weekend. Triple everything.
Oh yeah, triple baby.
And we go into this arena, and I'm the only tank on the team as Sun Wukong. And, doesn't stop me from building power boots into Transcendence and, and just having fun. I still did my job. I was tanky enough. I did get some bruiser stuff in there after that, but it was good times.
So
What about you, Dan?
I was gonna make it natural, and you just fucked it.
No, that would not be natural if it was natural. This is more natural now.
No, I was gonna naturally fluid the conversation over to me, and you just
Supernatural?
man. All right, here we go. Okay, so speaking of super fun warriors, now that King Arthur is not so glitchy, I am his owner, ruler, and god, and he is my servant. I have played nine jousts with, I think, 9 victories in a row with Arthur. No losses. I haven't lost when I played Arthur in days. He is, except for one match with Guy because we had what was it on the enemy team that kicked our ass that game?
Oh man, I
gotta
can't
look.
remember what it was, but maybe
It was the
Aquawash
Apwash because Dirtnap's
Yeah.
dad. Yeah, okay.
again. Yeah,
Never mind.
What'd I
That
do?
game doesn't count. We had a feeder with us.
makes
What
sense
did I
now.
do?
Makes sense now.
That was the game with the Apwash, Yorman douchebag.
Yeah, I was fun.
Anyway, but yeah, I really love King Arthur. Now that he's not so glitchy, all you gotta do is build Glad Shield Blackthorn Hammer and just fucking run at people.
I still haven't
But
played
you
him
gotta
yet.
know how to do it. But at the same time, it's oh my god, it's so much fun. And I've gotten really good at the instant cast thing. I'm trying to look for like here it is, my best game. I went 11-0 versus another King Arthur, a Jormungandr, and a Hera. I mean, literally, I just ran at them the whole time. Guy and Beagle, they were doing whatever they needed to. I just ran at the enemies and just attacked the whole game.
What was I? Who was I?
You were Scylla.
Yeah, you were Scylla and I was Hui, right?
Mm-hmm. I remember that game because I was talking about it. I'm like, you guys could just do whatever you need to do. I will take care of these guys.
Scylla's so much fun.
Me
I
too.
love her.
I have her diamond.
That's who I've been
I'm a-
practicing this week, is Scylla.
I'm a mage main. That's all I want to play is mages.
Yeah, me too. I play mid and sometimes ADC. A little bit of
And-
jungle.
I take
Beagle.
anything and everything into the jungle and make it work.
Beagle, do you remember when you asked me if you could play Soul carry? And I'm like, sure, I'll play Ama support. And
Yeah.
we just kept alt comboing those two in the beginning
It
of that
went
game.
well for a while.
Yeah, we destroyed our lane, but the rest of the lanes lost, so it eventually caught up to us. But it was fun while it lasted.
I mean, like we had a couple good games, but then like we tried it again and again and again. It's like, that was just a bad game. Yeah, kind of whatever.
Yeah, dude, Dan, how about me playing that Al Kwong?
Yeah, what was up with that? You played it basically an assassin and actually played it.
Mm-hmm. I was ripping some shit up that game. I don't do that often. But, every now and then you just find that, they're scared of me.
Sometimes when Dirtnap's dad gets an assassin in an assault or something, I'm like,
Oh crap!
well,
This is a loss.
a little
Here goes
worried.
this game.
I'm a little worried. It's kind of like a hit or miss, because if it's like Neja, I can trust him. But if he gets like Kali or something, he doesn't
Lord.
play fucking Kali, so like, I know it's a wash. And then sometimes he gets one, and I'm like, ooh. And then he just rips the game apart, and I'm like, oh okay. Sorry.
It's all about getting that swag on, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta find that confidence.
That's kind of.
And
Confidence is how to be good at Smite, honestly.
That's why I.
If you're not worried, you're not going to miss your
Oh,
shit.
dude,
If
how
you're not
about me
worried
playing
about missing,
Freya
you're not going to
yesterday?
miss, honestly. It happens.
I was playing Freya yesterday in Assault. I don't play Freya. So I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. They're trying to give me the basics, so I'm trying to look for those type combos. I'm not really worried about, being efficient. I'm just like, can I pull this combo off? All right, I pulled that combo off. Can I do this? Can I do that? Just, going through. But there was a moment, where I was the last one alive. They were all so close to dead, but I just didn't have anything to go on, except for the fact that I had Hasten Ring. And literally, I was just zigzagging through the four of them. They weren't hitting me with anything because I was just flying so damn fast at that point. I was giving the frickin' I was making Ymir dizzy because he was trying to freeze me, and I'm just like, nope, this side, nope, that side, nope, this side. With it. Oh, it was so fun. I would have loved just to have an ability up and been able to pop off on them, and so
That
close.
was a rough game for the enemy team, though.
Whoa. We have an invader.
What?
Someone has invaded the podcast.
Oh shit! It's Yuki. He made it, folks.
Well,
they can't
you're still.
hear you, though.
We'll still put it in. You invaded. Yuki has invaded. He's here to say hello to us, but not you.
So, where we were, Kaimberlyn, you said you've been playing some Scylla. You have any interesting games with her this week?
Oh, yeah. I love her ult because the better you get at hitting it, the whole resetting thing is just super fun. The thing that I've noticed with her is I land my abilities, but I'm never top damage. But I'm always, I don't know, I guess pivotal in the games I play her with getting the kills. So probably partly because her ult, if someone's running away with just a little bit of health, she's really good to just ult
Up
them.
and chase that, yeah.
Yeah, and just put the circle down in front of where they're running and they're pretty much dead. So it's been really fun. I'm on a squad in Exilium, so we have a 5-man that practices together and we have a coach and stuff like that. So it's been really cool to play her and get some coaching on it and just kind of, I never was a huge fan of her. Her dash is probably the most difficult ability for me. I'm still kind of learning how to position it, but it's really helpful because in a way it's almost like Giannis Portal because you can go
If you
through.
misplace it, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I've done that lots of times where I've dashed the wrong way or gone into the fight. Yeah.
Or you
Dashing
actually
into the
you
tower
go
and
to
you're like,
hit
why
one
am I inside
ability
the
and you
tower?
put your 3 in the middle of 4 people, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. So it's been
Well.
fun learning her though.
I've never been that out of position, have I?
I don't think you've done that, Dirt Napstat.
Yeah, of course I have.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
I'm
God.
being sarcastic.
Me and Scylla, she's actually one of those guys where I'm like, eventually I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? Instacast for everything with her, and it works so much better. And it's one of those things where it was also weird because, how do you aim her circle without seeing the circle? And it's just like, I don't know. I just kind of, you see it after a while, and what you can hit with it. So I don't know. I normally keep it on, default or quick casting for a lot of things, but she's one of those where once I put it on Instacast, then she kind of clicked a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, she's one of those. I've got one of my pentakills with her. One of my 2 pentakills.
Still haven't gotten mine.
I don't even remember all my pentakills, honestly.
Well,
I haven't gotten mine yet, so I steal other people's.
I got 8, so it's like...
I've gotten 2 pentas, I think.
Nice.
My first one was on, I think I have 2, but I think one was Arena, so I don't really count that. I got one in Conquest on Artemis.
Nice.
So that
I
was
got
pretty
one just the
exciting.
other day.
I
on
almost
Achilles.
got one as Jingwei, and that's like the only time I remember. I know there were many times I almost got one, and I was so close, I just needed that last hit or something. But I do remember this specifically. I built Jingwei one of the first few times I played her. Of course, I built her full crit. And I was just killing everyone. I had this last person, one more base would have killed him, and they ran in Fountain. And I wanted to cry in a corner.
Just kept
chase them down and kill them. Shit, get that pentakill.
Like, I was up at their Fountain anyway. Like, I was just killing everybody. And that last person just managed to run in the freaking Fountain. I never had one stolen.
I like when the stars start to align, though. That's always fun when you're like, you start to see it. Like, oh, I know I'm going to get this kill, or I just got that kill. I'm going to get this one, and then, that's going to allow me to just go right into doing that, and you start to see it line up.
I hate that, because then I know Beagle's going to ruin it.
Well, Dan, you just need to insert where is she going to interfere here, and then cut her off.
I need to not only guess where my pentakill is going to come from, but how Beagle's going to try to steal it.
As long as you don't do anything to deserve it, I won't.
Dude, from Ymir Club to Nethal and anywhere in between.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying that last pentakill I stole was
we
with
need to
the
get a poster
freeze.
made. We need to get a poster made where over top of me as like Thanatos or something, it says Quadrikill, and it's just in the middle of the poster. There's an Ymir smacking somebody, and it says like player kill above Ymir with his club.
Yeah. There we go, artsy folks. High five. Let's get a call out to that. So, we got any other game highlights to throw out there? I know I've blabbered on here long enough.
I could talk about this game.
I got another star on Opwash.
Oh, yeah, got another star. Got
13
another
stars.
Somehow I carried an Assault as Kali the other day.
I went 12-1 with AMC yesterday in a joust that's Arena. What? Where's the joust? Oh, the joust is 7-1. Sorry, 7-1 in joust, playing against Ra, Bakasura, and Hachiman with Dan and Guy as King Arthur, and who's Guy playing? I can't even see the little. Yeah. I can't even see his little thing. It's so tiny. Yeah. And oh my god, that Bakasura was so scared of me. He got me maybe. No, wait, he didn't get me. The Ra got me at one point, at like the very end of the game. Right before we came back and killed the Titan. Like, they were so scared, they were just sitting behind tower, like, the entire game. But then every now and then the Baka would come out, and he'd try to fight me. And he lost every single time. Even if he ulted.
Yeah, Beagle's been playing really well recently.
I mean,
but don't let that get to your head.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I do, I'll start playing like trash.
No, let it get to your head. Become confident and get better.
Well, I just don't want her head to get bigger. I just want her to get confident.
I doubt that'll ever
and
happen.
that's in the heart, folks. In the heart. All right. Well, hey, folks, let's get moving here on to this week's session of progression. And we're going to be talking about someone that often frustrates me because I play against them more than I play them. And it is Discordia. So,
Woohoo.
I don't know her lore. Damn, if Yuki would have popped in right here, I could have recorded him saying some lore about her. But she's from Rome, and she, all with one golden apple. There you go. That's her lore. And Dan, you're our ability reader, so why don't you have at that quick, and then Kaimberlyn will instruct us all how to play her.
Okay.
Well,
I can do that, I guess.
Can you? All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Discordia's passive is Contest of the Gods, or Contest of Gods, I guess, not the gods. Discordia is constantly comparing herself and her teammates to see who is the best. Whichever god on her team has the top damage dealt to enemy players will receive a power buff that scales off Discordia's level. Physical power buff is 5 plus 2 per level, and the magical power buff is 10 plus 3 per level. Her first ability is Unruly Magic. Discordia sends an orb of unruly magic to a location that damages any enemy it hits along the way. At that location, it will break down into 6 minor projectiles that fire out in all directions, damaging any enemies hit and bouncing off of walls. The orb damage is 72 to 250 plus 75% of your magical power. The minor damage is 20 to 60 plus 10% of your magical power. Her second ability is Strife. Discordia creates an area of strife that damages all enemies hit. Yes, this is the cancer one. If 2 or more enemy gods are hit at this... It's a skill carpet. That's what I call it, the skill carpet. If 2 or more enemy gods are hit at the same time, they will be afflicted by madness for 1 second, forcing them to attack each other for additional damage. The same is true for minions. If only a single target of one type is hit, then it becomes rooted for 1 second instead. The damage is 60 to 220 plus 60% of your magical power, and the madness damage per hit is 10 to 50 plus 10% of your magical power. Her 3 is Erratic Behavior. This is her dash. Discordia leaps a short distance and then creates an area of confusion where she lands that persists for 5 seconds. While inside the area, she becomes stealthed, gains bonus movement speed, and her first and second ability cooldowns are reduced by an additional amount of time every 0.5 seconds that she remains in the area. Attacking from the area will briefly reveal her. The movement speed buff is 20 to 40%, and the 1 and 2 cooldown reduction per tick is 0.5 to 1.5 scaling. Her ultimate ability, Golden Apple of Discord. Discordia throws her Golden Apple of Discord that damages and passes through minions and bounces off of walls. If the apple hits an enemy god, it will damage them and force them to hold the apple. Gods holding the apple will become intolerable, causing them to be crippled and intoxicated while they constantly boast. That's a weird sentence. At the end of the duration, the apple will detonate, dealing damage and spreading the effects to nearby gods. The initial damage is 100 to 200 plus 40% of your magical power. The first target duration is 2 seconds. The detonate damage is 200 to 400 plus 60% of your magical power. And the spread target's duration is 3 seconds, and that only does single target damage. That's it.
Sounds like Discordia.
Yeah. Sounds like Discord to me. Exactly.
So, you all heard why I don't like her. It's that number 2 that she drops on you.
Yeah.
Stupid skill carpet.
Bow, bow, bow.
The thing is, it's great no matter how you use it, whether you're using it to root and a single god, or using it to do
Make
damage to more
people
than
turn
one.
into a monster.
Fight each other. Yeah, I love using it on oracles. If you've never dropped it on oracles, it is hilarious the way that they smack each other. You should definitely drop it on the
Okay, I'll
oracles
have
next
to,
time you're in a game with her. But I love her because I need an oh shit button, and to me, her 3 is an oh shit button. I can get out of Odin's cage. I can get out of all kinds of things I need to get out of, and then also when a melee god is coming up on you, you can hide in your 3 and the whole resetting of the cooldowns or making that go quicker in team fights, I just kind of stay in the back. I throw out my 3 and build cooldown as well. And it's basically like her 1-2 combo you can just do over and over with very, very small cooldown.
The 3 having that moment where, she is completely safe. Like, I laned against her as a chalk once. And every time I tried to ult, she would 3, and I'm just like, okay, So I'm like, I see what she's doing. I'm going to condition her, let her think I'm just dumb. Meanwhile, I'm just rounding up the minions, forcing the issue, let her do it a couple times. And then I axed in and I hit my jump button and she 3'd. And then I'm like, sorry, bitch, you're mine now.
It's so funny how you can bait people with a jump sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially as Hades and Chalk.
Yeah, even Ares too. Yeah.
Yeah, Ares. Ares is another good one. Sometimes you jump and everyone beads, and you're just like,
gotcha. As Guy would say.
Actually, one time I do remember blinking in and jumping and walking away, and I heard like 3 beads, like instantly.
Anyway, back to Discordia. Go ahead, Kaimberlyn.
I love her voice pack. I think it's very sassy. It's very fun. I think they did a really good job with her voice pack. It suits her. So I love that. I love everything about her. I love her wave clear. I love that a lot of people don't know how to dodge the one. And sometimes it just gives that little bit of extra damage that you need. So she's super fun to play in lane. As a mid-main, like, she's definitely she's my top god. She's on my Twitter. She's on, like, my little Twitch emotes are little apples, Discordia apples with the Exilium flame inside of them. Just like, well, same as my logo here on Discord. That's my logo because I love Discordia and I love Exilium. So she's just my favorite. I feel like her kit has it all. There's nothing about her kit that I wish was different. So
yeah, that too is the strafe is so strong.
Yeah, it's super strong because it also helps your teammates land their abilities.
Yeah,
So
I can't tell you how
off,
many times a Rob's got a double kill on a strife.
But you do want to level the 1 up first. Overall,
yeah, you want
right?
to level the 1 first. That's your wave clear. Really, she has a great clear too. So what I usually do is I start with my 1. At level 2, I get my 2, and then I drop my 2 on the archers, throw my 1 at the wave, and very soon the wave is, once she's a couple levels in, well, a little bit more than a couple, but it's just like insta clear. So that's how I level her. So yeah.
And you'll get to the point where you don't even need to use your 2 in that. You can just do it with a 1 as the game goes on. So she's very strong with that. I mean, you dropping that 2 though, and grabbing, either rooting a god or forcing 2 towards each other, exactly where they're going to be. So the obvious combo here, as y'all should know, is 2 into the 1.
Yes. So you drop your, ideally you drop your 2, and then you either ult so that they're, it's almost like the whole like Bacchus drunk thing, the intoxicated. So I drop my 2 if I feel like I can kill them, if I have enough damage and, maybe they're half health or something like that. Drop my 2, throw my ult while they're stunned, and then do my 1 because then they don't have a lot of control over where they're going to go. So it's harder for them to dodge it, and they're usually dead.
What I love about her ult is just bouncing it off walls.
Bouncing it off things, the fact that it spreads to other people. It's a lot of damage. And then, yeah, I'm actually excited. Tomorrow when Deathwalker comes to our Discord for the stream, he actually listed her as one of the most useless gods in Smite, and I have no idea why. So I'm going to have to chat with him and ask him why.
I've seen that list he put out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be like, Deathwalker, why are you hating on my girl? So
the range that she brings is phenomenal. She is an artillery piece. Look, not everybody understands how to play. There's artillery mages that just want to stand as far away from everybody as possible and lob shit in.
Yep.
She is not about, close combat at all. She's like, stay away from me, and I'm going to lob shit, and when it hits you, it's like a dump truck landing on you.
At the later levels, she's actually pretty decent. If you get into a close-up fight, you can drop that strafe right on top of you and hit them with your 1, and they're like pretty much dead at that point in time.
Yeah, or when I'm being chased, if you like just mouse, like look all the way down, drop the 2 at your feet as you're moving, and it'll root the person following you, and usually that gives you enough time to get away.
Mm-hmm. Or enough time for your 3 to come up at least.
Yeah.
And then when your 3 comes up, you have your 2.
The other nice thing is, if your alt's up and you're running away, if you're like running like straight towards your tower, you can bounce it off and it'll go behind you. That's always a nice shot. Oh, you're chasing me, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she has a lot of versatility.
Mm-hmm.
And she's hard to beat. Her clear is really hard to beat. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of like newer Discordia players, you'll see them. They always crack. They'll jump into their 3 and like just sit in it, even though I'm like running straight at them, and I'm like, well, I know you're invisible, but I'm still gonna hit you in it.
Yeah, it's not a huge circle, so don't. Yes, you're invisible, but like we also
you're
know
not invulnerable.
It works really well against like melee gods that don't have like AoE abilities, but yeah, like. You do that when you're facing a Poseidon or an Agni or something that has big circle abilities, and they're going to damage you either way. But the melee characters that have to like, you can stand. One thing I do is I'll stand on the very edge in the direction that I don't think they're going to move. And a lot of times, they won't hit me, and it gives time. It's just a stall. It either gives time for my teammates to get to me, gives time for me to have damaging abilities up. And I've gotten kills even that way where people just melee characters especially will come right up on me, and I'll sit there and wait for my cooldowns, and then as soon as I'm ready, I drop my 2 right on top of my 3 and then my 1, and you get out and they're dead.
And then you taunt on the corpse twice, laughing back. What?
Of course. Doesn't
I don't
everyone
do that. I'm not fast enough on the controller.
I'd like accidentally use all my abilities and stuff.
Yeah, I'd accidentally ult 4 times and
use my cooldowns, jump into 3, and like use them again, and use them again.
Yep.
Yeah, she is fun for that. I mean, again, she does have that versatility, and can get in the mix of it. But she is an artillery mage.
How do you build her out?
I'll usually start with Mage's Blessing, and then I'll start usually cooldown with her. Sometimes Pen. It kind of depends on who we're facing, but so I'll do tier 1. Either Spear of Deso or tier 1 Chronos Pendant. I do pen boots.
Even with her 3, she does have pretty significant cooldowns. They're not horrible, but you feel it.
For sure, yeah.
In the early game, yeah, it's really nice to have that Chronos Pendant.
Yeah, that's usually what I'll go. And then I do pen boots, so Boots of the Magi. And then usually after that, I'll either go into a Soul Reaver, or if I need the pen early game, then I'll do a pen item like Spear of Deso. Spear of Deso is like my favorite pen item, or Divine Ruin if they have a lot of healing on their team. So either Soul Reaver or a pen item, and then my next item is whichever one of those I didn't get. And then usually Obshard, and then like a Rod of Tahuti. Rod is really good with her too, so yeah, that's usually how I play.
Yeah, because her Strife does half their health, and then her 1 does extra damage.
Divine Ruin and Obshard, I almost build those 2 items on all of my mages.
Yeah, it's really good on her because she spreads everything. Her 1 like bust up and hits people.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really easy to apply anti-heal with Discordia for sure.
Yep.
And if you have that Chronos Pendant and you're sitting in your 3, you're throwing abilities like crazy, and you have the MP5 to do it. So.
Oh yeah, you get like 30-40% cooldown with her. Like I said, you throw your abilities, jump into your 3, and you can get 2 sets of abilities off again before it ever goes away.
Yep, and she's super valuable with team fights. So
yeah, I've played assaults where I get Discordia and I'm like, oh, you poor things, and I just sit in my 3 and berate them.
Yeah,
especially there because you're starting off with Chronos Pendant too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I like about Assault. Of course, then I forget to buy boots because I'm already buying big boy items, and then like 5 items in, I'm like, shh. I die, and I'm like, why am I not back to the fucking first even tower yet? And I'm like, oh shit, forgot to buy boots.
Yeah, he'll go back with 6k gold and come back with Bloodforge and Runeforge, and I'm like, what the boots, dude? And I'm like,
oh yeah,
playing with monkeys.
Remind me when I die next time to get boots.
Playing with monkeys
for every time I said that.
Yeah, I just actually got her diamond this past weekend, so I've been playing a little bit of her lately.
I got a lot of people diamond.
I think I got 4. 4. I
think I got 5 or 6.
think I got
Yeah, just Ganesh
Medusa.
here.
Medusa, Hui, and who else? I can't think right now.
It's hard to get God's Diamond when you're playing
Right?
Civilization 6, right?
Yeah.
No, I only
Shots
diamond them
fired.
if I have enough favor to buy the skin.
Which
I had enough favor to buy one, so I've got
I don't
one diamond.
understand. You just like wasted a triple
So weird.
weekend.
But yes, the Civ 6 games are going well. Playing
Whatever.
one right now.
So, Dad's got his favorite question he wants to ask you.
Okay.
Well, no, hold on. You're skipping one, guy.
Am I? Well, I am skipping one. You're right. How do you play? Come out there and you see a Discordia on the other team. How do you play against her?
Wait for her to
Mirror
Three big
matches.
circles over her little circle.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're playing a mirror match like that, it's going to be all about your positioning.
Well, not just a mirror match, but it's just, there's just a Discordia on the other team. What are some tricks or tips on how to deal with playing against a Discordia? Not necessarily
just as a
one,
mid
but-
in general.
Tips on playing against her.
Yeah,
I don't
her
want to do that.
Well, her
Yeah,
weaknesses
obviously.
they're gonna be gods with the big AoE circle abilities. So like Agni, Poseidon, things that, she does still have her 3, but like Vulcan, the big ults that are hard to get out of and that her 3 won't really save her from, because it's not a dash, it's just a leap. So you don't go very far.
But it being a leap, you do get an immunity frame.
True, yeah.
Yep. So,
So it's Vulcan is kind of a toss up. You have to time it perfectly, but definitely the big circles are easiest for. I mean, Poseidon, you can literally just put your 3 on her 3, and she just can't get out.
Yeah, and then just make sure you have beads and Aegis. Those are your best friends against her, against almost everyone. But
Yeah,
Don't
pretty
group
much.
up. Don't cluster up together. Just
Don't stand on top of each other if there's a Discordia on the enemy team.
flanker. Yep. You from this side, you from that side, and someone down the middle.
yeah, because that's a bad feeling when you get hit 2 or 3 guys in that strafe. Gosh.
Yeah, that can turn a team fight almost instantly.
Oh yeah.
for sure.
And you do want to keep her out of her 3, so if you can throw an ability in there and push her out, that is to your advantage, because she is getting that cooldown while in there.
Right.
So definitely want to push her out of that and not let her sit in it. And once she uses it, you got some
time to
time before
regress.
that comes back up.
Yeah.
You got to take advantage of that. No when dashes and leaps are down. That is super important.
And
Super
for
important.
God's sake, if her ult gets on, you do not run towards your
Jeez.
teammates.
For real.
yeah, that too. People do that.
For
They're
real.
like,
Honestly,
hey,
I
help,
usually try to
save me.
run
Look,
into
I got
a
this
wall
thing
and yell,
above me.
"Get away! Get away from me!" And I'll run into
I
a
hate,
wall.
like-
Try to
I
put
won't
half
lie,
of it in
I've
the
used
wall.
it to kill a teammate one time.
I just hate when those randoms are like, "Oh no, I've been hit by Discordia." Oh,
That would
I
explain
gotta
why
run to
Yuki
my
got
team.
mad
They
at
can
you.
help me, meds me or something. No, go away. I don't like you.
Nobody wants your cancer. Go away, please.
All right. Now my favorite question.
Now
What's
your
your
favorite question.
what's your favorite skin for her?
Oh, she's got some good ones. So when the what is the skin that has the pixel? Is it pixel chaos?
Pixel Chaos, yeah.
I love the way that
Chaos.
one looks, but I hate the way the abilities feel. I don't like the blocky, pixely, squared abilities. I don't like the feel of the autos and the sound that the autos make. So I love the color scheme and I love how that looks, but I don't like to play it. So I don't ever play it. My favorite is probably the Oblivion Queen or the Dragon Keeper. Dragon Keeper's super cute, and like her, I don't know if you've seen her special emote that she does in it, but it's like she's like got her legs crossed and she's kind of floating. It's just cute. She's holding the dragon or tossing it up in the air. So the Dragon Keeper one is really cute. Obviously, that's the newest one, and Oblivion Queen is good too. When I want to play her and I want to try hard, I usually use the default or the rebellious one because I can see my 2 better because it's the hot pink lines versus like the Oblivion Queen is black. And to me, it's a little harder to see. So it kind of depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just playing, a casual arena, or if I really want to go try hard, then I just stick with default because I see the abilities better.
That is funny because I actually find the black harder to see.
Yeah, it is. It's harder to see, the black one.
Oh, all right. I heard you backwards. I get dyslexic like that. Sometimes you have to let me alone.
No worries. So that's why, yeah. So when I want to see when I need to see better and I'm trying hard, I just stick with either her default or her rebellious, because they're both pink boxes, versus the Oblivion Queen is the black one. And I don't think you can see it as well.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you now.
So
So
we need to do an episode on skin vantages sometimes, because there are a lot of them actually.
Yeah, that's true.
I get that. But so we've talked about it here on the show before, but I'll bounce this off you. And if someone can, render this into a cool image, high five. So my idea for Discordia is the pool player Discordia. So you gotta imagine, first off, she's not going to be in a skirt. She's going to be in like a suit, like a pantsuit with a vest, that, kind of like the pointed ones that kind of come in like diamond shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then a white, button down shirt with the sleeves rolled up and like nice little hat. And she's the pool player, because obviously, you can have, her one is the cue ball rolling down, and then it breaks. And when it breaks into the little balls, that are breaking all over the place. Her two is a nice big green, pool table area. Pretty easy, And then her three, the pocket, and her alt could be, the 8 ball.
Yeah, that's true. You got it all worked out. That would work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just need someone with some sort of skill to put that together for me.
It's really funny because
actually, you probably. Sorry, go ahead, and I'll say mine after.
Okay, I don't ever think about skin ideas or like what I could come up with. And we were talking about skins recently, and somebody was saying like they could take the Nox skin and make it an Exilium skin because her candle could be the Exilium flames. Like she could be holding the torch instead of I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I don't think about these kind of things though. Like most of the time I'm so busy worried about like knowing the game and learning, because it's been only a year. Most people that have been playing Smite have been playing for years. So I'm still trying to play catch up on god kits and abilities and positioning and rotations. There's a lot.
Yeah.
The ceiling in Smite is super high because of like, you have over 100 gods that all have different kits, and then you have all the different builds and the items. It's a lot to learn.
Yeah,
so.
Most certainly is. I mean, it's part of the reason why I listened to a podcast and then got into doing it myself, because I just want to keep that knowledge flowing, because I'm learning stuff in Smite every day. Every day. I learn something by playing or watching or following along somehow.
Yeah.
That and Smite's ever changing.
Yep.
True.
The gods are changing, getting buffed and nerfed. The items get buffed and nerfed. It's just an ever-changing game.
Yeah, you get new god releases. Yeah, so I started with Chernobog release.
Okay.
So, some questions for you here. Are you mainly a conquest player, or do you like any other modes, or what are your thoughts on that?
I am definitely a conquest main. So I'm a little bit of a conundrum as far as like my Smite background, my Smite experience is going to be pretty different than how a lot of people would start Smite. I started Smite and very soon after was in the competitive scene, not as a player, but as a manager. Because, we have 7 teams right now in Exilium that I manage. And so a lot of my time I'm spending like spectating scrims, and I'm sitting in on coaching sessions, and I'm watching, we went to Worlds and, watching SPL games. And so I feel like my knowledge of Conquest is really advanced, but I'm not there mechanically. So I'm not very good at mechanics yet. But as far as like understanding Conquest and how it should be played, like when I get into a ranked game, if my team will listen to my calls, we can usually, do pretty well, because I know what should be done when and things like that, just because of the exposure I've had. At the same time, when I started playing with a lot of people that were playing comp, and they just carried me all the time. And like they would turn it into a game. So like my higher level teams, they love it when I play with them, and they'll put me in there, and it's like mission, don't let anyone kill Kaim, And so I've been a little bit spoiled, and I've noticed.
Wow, I wish these people
Your
would
team
play that game for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, don't let them kill my Paul.
It's yeah, exactly. So I've been a little spoiled with like I never had to queue randoms by myself. You know, it was always just I always had a 5-man. I always had people that were quite a bit higher than me that knew what they were doing. And in some ways that was very beneficial. And in some ways I feel like maybe that hindered me a little bit because I was just used to being kind of babysat as far as like, you know, people doing things for me that you don't get if you're in a 5-man or when you're not in a 5-man. So I started playing ranked to try to, you know, stand on my own 2 feet, so to speak, in the game. Because obviously you're going in there by yourself and it's kind of, you have to hold your own. So trying to make myself a better player, a more well-rounded player. And it's good. I'm catching up. It's kind of like I'm filling in gaps where I would have had things that I would have learned if I had done it like most people, where they just start playing the game and like they don't even know really much about the competitive scene until they're a higher level player. Whereas I started that right away. So yeah, definitely mostly Conquest, because that's what our comp teams kind of revolve around. But we love going into an arena. We love getting in Assault. I'll even play Joust. I'm not a fan of Clash and I'm not a fan of Siege. I don't ever play those. But Arena, super fun. When we just want to chill and like not try hard or we want to warm up for something or whatever, arenas are, or if I want to try a new god, that's where I'll usually do it. And then Assault.
Yeah, Arena is definitely good for that. And also, you can guarantee it's like a 20-minute game. Yeah, it's
for sure.
It's not, if you're like, oh, it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes till dinner. Yeah, I can play an Arena.
Yeah, or you're waiting on someone to get out of a game.
Can I play a Conquest? No, I can't play a Conquest because it'll be a 2-hour game.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Assault is great because it kind of forces me to play. I like the aspect of not choosing my own god sometimes. Like, especially if it's been a day where I've made a ton of decisions as a mom and, you know, career and all that. Like, just make the decision for me, please. So, like, Assault is fun for those days.
Just do the thinking, please.
Yes.
Just let me push buttons.
Sure. That is exactly like one of my biggest things about playing Assault is because I don't feel like picking a god.
Yeah. I think I really like Assault for that reason as well, because like even when I play other games like World of Warcraft or something like that, I often like get tired of a character pretty quick and I'm like, oh, jeez. And like, you know, when there's only like 6 junglers that are really any good, and then you have to like really mechanically be profound to like really pull off what I pull off with the good junglers with a bad jungler. And it's like, I don't want to lose, so I don't pick a bad jungler. And then I get tired of all the good junglers, and I'm like, well.
Yeah. Sometimes I just don't really have anyone I want to play, so just throw someone at me, you know? That's why I like Assault. Most of the time when I solo queue, that's probably what I'm playing, unless I'm in the mood to play someone. So,
are you mainly a mid player?
Yes. Mostly I play mid. My second role would be ADC. And like I said, I've just I feel like every well-rounded, especially if you play Conquest, player should have at least a few gods that they can play in any role in case you don't get the role that you want, or in case something happens and you need to switch with someone. And the way that we around Exilium, the way that we do things is, we have a lot of new players too. So like if the newest player in the 5-man pretty much gets to pick their role. And then we go from there. So the most experienced player is probably going to be the one filling. Well, believe it or not, we have quite a few support players that actually enjoy it.
Dad gets down with some support, and we have Dicey who's a support main. But
Dicey's much better than I am, but I'm pretty solid at it.
Dicey also likes to have a lot more fun, though.
Dicey is insane.
I will say that his support style is...
I love being his carry.
different from everyone else's, definitely.
Just keep up.
Dicey's support style is, keep up.
It's like, he's mostly the carry, honestly.
He will literally just run in there and fuck them up by himself. And he'll scream that he's doing it the whole time.
Basically,
like, I'm fucking him up! Get up
basically,
here,
with Dicey, you're both the carry. He's not a support. He is also a carry playing a guardian. It's so much fun. Like,
or warrior. That Sun Wukong on.
I'll play Soul. He'll play Sun Wukong. Oh my god, it's great.
Or his Geb.
And Sobek. Sobek.
Yeah, you got me thinking about good guardian
play
play.
Sobek really well. We
Mhm.
play
All right,
Sobek
so,
Neath.
Questions
it's
for
so
the guests.
good.
You're getting me blabbing. You're getting me blabbing. Someone asked the guest a question.
So, you say you've only been doing this for a year. How long has Exilium been going on?
So Exilium officially started August 1st last year. So how that kind of happened was when I started playing Smite, I posted on Reddit asking if anyone wanted to play with me. About 3 or 4 individuals reached out to me. One of them was in a small community that probably had about 100 members, and about 5 to 10 of them played Smite. And so I would play Smite with them quite often. And that's kind of like, I would invite people, I would meet people in Smite, or like the other people that reached out to me through Reddit. I was like, hey, well, why don't y'all come in this Discord too? And we'll just play from here. So we did that. And then that continued to grow. And then that little server of 100 people had some guys that wanted to have a team. So they made a team, and I was like, well, that's cool. Me being brand new and knowing really nothing about Smite, I watched the team kind of sit there for a couple months, and they never really did anything. And so I was like, this team is like not going anywhere. Why don't you just let me manage it? I don't know anything about Smite, but I know a lot about managing people, and I can do that. I can develop a schedule. I can reach out and, get information and find out where we need to be to get in on the comp scene. So I started doing that with that team, and the team really started to grow. This was our original team, and I kind of got plugged into some of the community Smite Discords that I needed to be in. And a team that we were scrimming reached out to me after a couple of scrims and said, hey, we really like your management style. Would you consider managing us as well? And so I was like, oh gosh, 2 teams. I don't know if I can do that. I talked to the admins of that small Discord and was like, hey, would you guys be okay with that? And they were like, they were okay, but like they weren't loving it, because at this point we probably had 30 people that I had brought in. And they weren't loving how their Discord was starting to feel like a Smite Discord versus just the little community Discord that they wanted. So after taking on a second team, and like we probably had 40 people, 50 people, we kind of started to feel like they really didn't embrace us being there. So we kind of branched out and decided to start Exilium so that we could have, however many channels dedicated to Smite that we wanted, as well as teams and all that. So we started Exilium August 1st, and I did it as like I feel like this is best for me. I'm going to go ahead and go and start my own server. And I didn't really expect people to follow. I didn't know if anyone would. And a bunch of people ended up coming with. So we started with, I think the first day we had like 40 people in the server. Brand new server, brand new to the competitive scene, had no idea what we were doing really. It was a day-by-day learning process for me to learn what it takes to manage teams and things like that. So 1 team, 2 teams, then we had a 3rd team, then we went to 5 teams, and now we're up to 7 teams. And the thing that I've really noticed about our teams is like, there's a lot of teams out in Smite that are together for a week. They have one bad scrim set or one bad tournament, and they get in a fight and they want to point fingers, and then they just break up. Having a manager and having a little bit of structure really helps facilitate communication. It helps facilitate working out issues and everybody communicating, when there's a problem versus just dipping. I also help my teams get coaches. So most of our teams have coaches. And it's just that's kind of how the whole thing started, was just from a small group of people. And now we have, like I said, I'm pretty sure this weekend we're going to be hitting over 800 members if we haven't already.
Hell yeah. And that's not the only thing you guys do. You got a lot more going on than just teams.
We do. We have...
you want to talk about some of that?
Yeah, sure. So we have our teams, and that's, obviously a big focus is our competitive play. We have some high-level teams now. We started with pretty much a silver gold team, and now all of our teams are at least diamond. So we have our lowest team being a low diamond, and then our highest team being a full masters. We have a couple of full masters teams. Those teams are playing in Combine. Atlas is probably our most known team. Atlas and Blue. Atlas is the one that Alpha Jackal coaches, which he's been amazing. He's been a huge supporter of our community. He'll randomly tweet about us or share something, or post things, and it's just been very helpful to have Alpha kind of in our corner. We love him. So on top of our teams, we noticed that like we were having a lot of people try out. And when we would have an opening, you know, we'd have all these tryouts, and then I felt really bad because obviously only one person gets that roster spot. And I noticed a lot of the tryouts they weren't bad players. They just didn't have any experience in competitive teams. And the higher and more competitive our teams get, the harder it is to get those spots. So I was like, you know, I really want to do something to help all these people interested in competitive that can't seem to find a spot on a team, to help them have that team environment to where they don't have to try out. They can just walk in, get put in with 5 people, and it's kind of self-driven at that point. They can either queue casuals with those 5 people all the time, or they can scrim with other groups like them. So that's kind of how our program that we have that's called Exilium Squads. Exilium Squads, the reason we call it squads is so that people understand the difference when we say a squad versus a team. Our teams are our competitive, you know, diamond and up kind of groups. Our squads are usually plat and below players. There are a few diamonds in there. But basically, squads is you sign up with a Google Doc, you tell us which role you want, you list your primary, your secondary, you're guaranteed to get one of those roles. You give us your schedule, like when you're available to play, because the first kind of batch of squads we didn't have that option for schedules, and we noticed some squads weren't succeeding because, you know, you have this guy who works nights and these people that are available only on weekends, and it was just kind of a mess. So you get 1 or 2 roles, you get a schedule with other people that can play at the same time as you. You get a coach, and we give you an exclusive channel in Exilium Discord, a text channel and a voice channel, and that is your squad chat. So those have been amazing. We have 13 squads right now for NA. That is open for console. It's open for
Wow. Did
PC.
you just hear me ask that question in my head? I'm like, oh, I should ask about platforms here. And you immediately answered me.
Yeah, that's been super cool to see the console players get involved. We love people, and that's just kind of like people and community. You'll notice that's a big theme of Exilium. That's why like we believe in being kind. We believe in just like being humble and, you know, working with people and like basically become like being a place that anyone can feel comfortable. So we take a really strong stand against like the divides of console where people talk down to console players or think that they're, you know, subpar to PC, because we don't believe that at all. So we welcome all of our stuff for console. We really wish PS4 was connected
Me too.
because we have friends on PS4 that we can't play with. Yeah, I know. But
Rip.
Yeah,
Ripperino.
PS4 Island.
one thing that we've been talking about in our admin meetings is I think we're going to start a PS4 role. And so people that are interested in Smite can join our Discord. They can sign up for the PS4 role. We'll make them some channels, and then that way they can connect with other PS4 players.
We have something similar to that in our Discord.
That's awesome. Because
we have role settings so you can go into the oh gosh, what's the channel actually called? Looking for group channel, and you can add your platform.
Yeah, that's great. And then with that, like if we were to get enough people that are on, you know, PS4, we could have events for PS4 players as well. So that's something we're looking at doing in the near future. But the squads program has been amazing. It's ongoing, so people can always sign up, and there's no end date. It's just kind of the goal is for people to get on there to learn in a team environment, to understand what it's like to have good comms, to get some coaching on builds and, you know, positioning and all those things. And what's really cool is like you're getting team experience so that, you know, in a couple months or something, you might be able to go try out for that diamond team and get a spot. So we feel like it's a great thing. Our squads scrim each other. So, you know, most of the time when you're talking about scrims, you're talking like diamond teams and up. And for, you know, a group of maybe gold players to go and scrim a diamond team, they're going to get smashed. So it's really cool that the squads can scrim each other and they know that everyone there is pretty much below plat. So that's really cool too. Squads is a huge driving force in Exilium. We love our casual players. We love teaching, and we love helping people be able to feel like they have the opportunity to learn and grow into the competitive player that they want to be. So
That's awesome. I mean, it's really cool just to see organizations like this out there doing these things and helping the community grow and make a better game for all of us, because, you know, the better skill set that's out there, the better the game is going to be.
All right, guys. You know what I heard? They need PS4 members. We're 5 members. First PS4 squad. Let's go.
there you go. There you go. I'm down.
Split
That would be
first
great.
squad.
We have EU squads as well.
That might cut into my Civ time, though.
Screw your
We have a
Oh,
Civ.
good.
We have a Civ channel as well. We have a
Oh,
group
All
there.
right, I'm in.
There you go.
There we are.
He's in.
Yeah, we so a couple other games that we play. We have Civ, so we'll have Civ nights where there's you can sign up for the Civ role. We have Civ, we have Arc, we have Apex, we have a Minecraft server. We dabble in a lot of different games, and Exilium is like, I view Discord as kind of like houses. So like right now I'm visiting you guys at your house, and when you're in Exilium, you're at our house, which quickly becomes your house too if you're in there enough. But it's kind of like we want people, even if they're not playing Smite, where they're hanging out there. So if someone's playing a new game, like we have a couple people playing Final Fantasy, you just say, hey, does anyone want to play this with me? And 9 times out of 10, someone's going to be like, oh yeah, I've been wanting to try that game. So it's just a good place to come together to play whatever. We have nights where we play Cards Against Humanity, drunk version. Like we have all kinds of stuff. So it's just fun. It's our friends. It's where we hang out. That's where, if I'm at my computer 9 times out of 10, I'm in the Discord.
It seems like a lot of work. You got a team around you that helps you out.
Yes, it is a lot of work. My boyfriend is 7. He is the captain of Exilium Omega. He's the support.
Wait, your boyfriend's only 7 years old?
No. That would be scary. His name is 7 with 2 V's.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
That kind of
I'm
came
with you
from
now.
his birthday is 7/7, July 7th. So that's where the 2 V's
Oh, okay.
kind of signify. So that's his gamer tag is 7. He is kind of like my personal bodyguard / shield. The days where I have terrible days where I don't know, there's been certain groups that have snubbed us and kind of not welcomed us, and like if someone's going to get kicked for being toxic, usually they're going to come after me for that. And so he is like my constant support. He's my constant, lets me cry on his shoulder when I've had a bad day. He is the strength behind Exilium for sure. And then we have a whole team of admins that do different things. We have our squad's leader, which is Carnage. He's been a friend of mine for probably 3 or 4 years. We met in a different guild in a different game. We have somebody that's over all of our leagues and tourneys, which is Mike. He's our league commissioner. He is super knowledgeable about all things competitive Smite, whether it's SPL, SML, or like amateur Smite. He just knows everything. So he does that. We have someone that specializes in taking care of the Discord, setting up roles and things of that nature. We have somebody that does public relations that reaches out to Hi-Rez for us. Like Hi-Rez is backing our tournament tomorrow. So he communicates with them to get us resources like that. We have a business team, which is pretty much Mad Accountant, and then the Cobra, me, and 7, where we have 2 nights a week. We do business meetings that talk about our budget, what we're doing, how to grow, like all kinds of things. So we have a lot. And then we have game managers, which manage just a specific game within the community. And then we just merged with a smaller org called Blackguard, and Motive was the owner of Blackguard. Motive is now my assistant team manager. So he helps me with my teams. We have a whole bunch of people, and I might be the face of Exilium, but I am definitely not the one that should be getting all the credit for the success, because these are people that are passionate. They love Exilium. They're in it with me day in and day out. They're reliable, hardworking. They make it amazing.
Hell yeah.
Beagle,
Those kind of people around
Yes.
you.
go ahead, ask your question.
Why? Okay, he makes me ask this question every time now, okay? I mean,
Go ahead.
do you watch Supernatural?
Do I watch Supernatural?
Yes, that's it.
I have watched quite a bit of Supernatural. In fact, my boyfriend liked that show, and so we've watched quite a bit of it together. We kind of go in binges with shows where we'll watch one for a little while and then we kind of skip to something else. Like right now, the biggest show we watch is Vikings. We love that show.
So good.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we're on right now. But yeah, we have watched a bunch of Supernatural. The thing with Supernatural, I do like it, but I feel like the episodes can be somewhat repetitive. It's kind of like they have the same map for each one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
kind of like
I guess
kind of like Law and Order, any of those types of shows. It's like just like one case, and it's usually the damsel in with Supernatural. It's usually damsel in distress.
Yeah,
one of them falls in love with one of the brothers, and by the end, it's all swoony eyes and stuff. So,
yeah. I mean,
you saved me.
Yep,
season 14 has been better though. It's been a lot different. So that's good. I mean, a lot of people complain about it, but I like it. It's been different.
I haven't watched any of the new ones, so I should do that.
The newer seasons get better.
That's good to know. I'll check some out, and then I'll let you know what I thought. Because, I've only watched probably the first 3 seasons.
Yeah, like, they're up to season 14 now, and they've already been renewed for season 15. Definitely, like, seasons 13 and 14, I really liked. A lot of people didn't, but I think it was just because they were different. And a lot of people just liked the same old thing every time, but I liked how they make them a little bit different.
Yeah, variety is the spice of life, right? I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We get Game of Thrones next month. That's what matters.
Dude, I'm so excited about that. I can't wait. My boyfriend doesn't like it. He stopped watching it after the Red Wedding because he's like, they just keep killing all the characters that I like.
So maybe you should.
Like, I can't take this. Yeah, so I love it though. So I'll definitely be watching it. But honestly, I don't watch a whole lot of TV. Maybe that's because my kids control it a lot. I don't know, but like, and typically, I don't know. I'm really picky about movies and stuff. Like, I would almost always rather be engaging with people doing something than sitting and watching a show most of the time. Although I do
watch TV.
I don't really watch much TV. That's why like Supernatural is like the only TV show I will really watch because like I just don't find most TV shows today interesting. They seem all the same to me.
I agree.
So
definitely,
I'm mostly a YouTube person and then Supernatural.
Yeah, I'm usually on Twitch. Honestly, I'm either watching Twitch or I'm doing something in the community. But
I mean, I don't watch many Twitch streamers, but yeah, I mean,
you said you got 6 kids. Do any of them play Smite with you?
They do. So my oldest is 16. His name's Noah, or Grumble Up, I guess, in Discord. In fact, he's on what we call our junior team.
I didn't know that was his name.
Oh, God.
We got his dad joke.
Dad jokes. We like dad jokes.
Yep.
Oh,
one of my better friends has a son named Noah. I love that. Every time he comes over, I didn't know you were coming.
Yeah, he gets that. But yeah, so he actually started a team. It's him, it's 3 of his buddies from high school, and then my boyfriend's sister, who is 16. She's about to be 17. But so it's 5 high schoolers. They have their team and they're doing really well. They have a great coach. They're called Exilium Soul. So they're like our baby team. But they practice a couple times a week, and Noah came to Worlds with us last year, as well as my boyfriend's sister, Sam. And then my daughter, who's 14, she also plays, and she came to Worlds. And then my 12-year-old plays on the PS4. So I may have to hook you guys up with him because he's doing really well. He's still learning. He's only been playing for a couple weeks. But he plays on the PS4, and my 10-year-old play on the PS4. Yeah. So 4 out of the 6 play Smite, which is awesome.
Hell yeah. It's awesome.
Nice. I love being able to play Smite, with my kids. It's just awesome.
For sure. We do that. Seven's sister and brother play. So we'll take his brother, sister, me, Noah, or Kalia, my daughter, and we'll make a team and play. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Besides, like, all the online friends we made playing Smite, I have no friends yet who play Smite. Like, all my IRL friends, they're not really gamers. So, And like most
My
of them
daughter
don't even
says
know
the
what
same
Smite
thing.
is. Yeah, like I don't know many
What are
people who play
friends?
Smite. Like
I
I
have a
would
friends
convince
list
my
on
best
my
friend to play
PlayStation.
Smite, but her parents won't let her upgrade to a PS4 because she doesn't really game much. But like she will play video games, and we used to play them together all the time. But we don't even have the same console anymore because she has a PS3, I have a PS4, and her parents won't let her upgrade because it's not like
Gotcha.
she plays video games too much. It's mostly just for TV, so it's whatever.
All right. Well, anything else before we get wrapping up here, folks?
I will say, so I talked a little bit about our squads. So the squads, we also have something called our leagues. And one of the cool things is, you see leagues for comp players all the time. Or not all the time, but you see several out there. There's like things like Friday Night Smite Prime and the Vulpus League and stuff like that. Well, we started a league as well for competitive teams, but we also wanted to have a league for casual players. So we have 2 leagues. One is called our Classic League, and that is for below plat squads or teams. You don't have to be a squad to be in it, but we encourage our squads to join it. So we have that. That's our Classic League. And then we have our Premier League, which is for the plat and above teams in the community and inside Exilium. So these leagues start at the end of March. They are going to be probably around 8 weeks. Depends kind of on how many sign up and how we do the matchups. But you'll play in the league. You'll get assigned a team to play each week. You get with that team. You play the match whenever it works for everyone. And then you just report the match in the league Discord. And then at the end of the league, we're going to do a tournament for each league. So the Classic Tournament, which is our casual player tournament, the top 2 teams that win that league are going to be offered to have a spot in our Premier League tournament. So they can kind of see how they stack up against the higher level competitive teams. So kind of like SML, SPL style is how we've laid it out. So those start the end of March. We have info on that on our Twitter. We are stoked about it because tournaments are great, but they're only one day. And like, what if you're just having an off day or your team's, you have to play with a sub because someone can't be there? The league gives you longevity to really prove yourself, to improve, to get more than one shot. And, we're super excited to see how those go. So that's the other big thing we have going on. And then, like I said, we have our stream team. Our stream team is awesome. We are trying to provide good content on Twitch pretty much from like 10 in the morning to like midnight, sometime around there. And we're always open. If there's people out there that want to stream for us, they can get in touch with us and we can definitely look into adding them to our team.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we're doing a lot of things.
Beagle's been considering the whole stream thing. Yeah, she's thinking about it.
You should definitely do it.
I think
Did
Beetle
you
would
say
be
me?
a good
'Cause if
streamer.
so-
She's very excitable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She is like a beagle. She does get excited.
Are your leagues open
I get
to
excited
console
over
players
little
also?
things because I don't have
Yes.
anything. Like, I don't have much, so little things excite me.
It's good to get excited about little things. That's a good
I
a
know.
good trait.
Everybody's like, geez, let's just going to like McDonald's or something. It's like, I don't care. I'm leaving the house. I'm going somewhere. I'm doing something. I don't know.
Beagle, it's a stick. But it's my stick!
I found it. I
Hello?
found it outside when I was
Backyard.
walking in a circle.
This stick was in my backyard for 4 days. We're like best friends.
So I fire up my Xbox, and how do I go about getting on a squad? You said you go just...
Yeah, so if you go to, well, first of all, if you're in our Discord, which our Discord is on our Twitter and on our Twitch. So our Twitch is We Are Exilium. Our Twitter is We Are Exilium. If you go to either of those pages, you can find a link to the Discord. We have a news section at the top that has signups, and we announce everything we're doing in there. There's also a category that says Exilium Squads. You can find the signups in there as well as the rosters. If you still need further help, Carnage is our squad's lead. He posts in that, so you'll see him right off the bat. Any of us are happy to help with that. But yeah, we try really hard to keep our Twitter updated with everything that we're doing. We also do a lot of giveaways. We do skin codes every month. We do an Amazon gift card every month. So be sure to follow us on Twitter, and that's the best way to stay in touch with what's going on inside Exilium as well as the Discord.
For a 7-month-old or you guys are like Really rocking it right now.
Dude, we are trying. Because we have high goals. We want to have teams in the SML. We want to have a team in the SPL. So someday, like, just like these big orgs, we want to do that. We're just kind of going about it a different way in that, we want to be a community-driven org, to where everyone feels like this is actually their org. You can be a fan of a lot of the orgs out there, but can you really be a part of those orgs?
Right.
Not really. Exilium's different. You can be on a squad, you can play with our people, you can get involved, you can help with events, you can, if there's a game you love, you can go start a chapter in that game and we'll help you with it. There's all kinds of stuff that can be done, and it's really like no limit as far as what you can do.
Sounds like gamer heaven, honestly.
That's kind of what we're trying to do, because
sounds like
we're a gaming family. So
sounds like Split Push needs to get involved in some of this stuff with you guys.
Come on
now.
We're
Let's
ready
all
for
do
you.
it together.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
in.
So do you guys have any plans to go to HRX?
Yes.
I wish.
It's hopeful, but
it's hopeful,
we'll
but yeah.
No money.
There'll definitely be, I think a few of us will be there.
Life's been a little challenging for us the last few years financially, but things are starting to get back on the right track. So I'm hoping, but, gotta see how well I can squirrel, away some dough.
I feel that.
Yeah, luckily, I'm only like an 8-hour drive away, so.
Okay. Yeah, we're only 5.
It's a little different for us, so.
Where are you guys located?
We're Southern PA, so it would be horrible.
It wouldn't be horrible, no, but.
I would drive it. I definitely wouldn't fly.
No.
Oh,
no.
no.
I'm Indianapolis,
I would rather drive. I like long drives. Like, yeah, they can be boring
Road trips are
sometimes,
fun.
but seeing just new places, even if they're just like small little towns, like anything new excites me.
Gotcha. That's fun.
Small things, remember?
Yeah, small things.
Small
It's a
things.
stick.
That
Big
means
things will
it's
probably
easy to
break
please
me.
you.
Dude,
Big things
do you
break
see
me.
that
Little
stick?
things excite me.
We gotta go back and get that stick.
Oh, wait, squirrel!
Squirrel,
cool.
what are you doing here? How did you get in the car?
Well, y'all let us
one
know if you
cat's
end up
named
going, because
Squirrel.
we would love to meet up, and we're gonna be there,
Epic.
decked out in our Exilium gear. We have a merch store that's opening any day now. We've already done all the things we need to do. We're just waiting on the designers to get it all done. So that's going to be opening. So we'll all be in our Exilium gear. If y'all get to go,
Awesome.
definitely let us know.
Maybe we'll be in some Exilium gear.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, what
All
about
right.
that, huh?
I
Let's
can
get,
dig it.
I think we're ready to get things wrapping up here, starting to drag on a little bit. I'm the one that has to edit all this. While I love to be able to put out, multiple hours of content for podcast listening.
We gotta save some for
I
next
got-
week.
Got other shit I gotta do in life too. So
No problem.
let's wrap things up here. So you kind of already started going down this road here about how people can reach out to you and stuff with the organization there. So you want to continue on that, how people can reach you directly, and
Sure.
the best way, again, just to reiterate for the org as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find the org at Twitter /WeAreExilium. Our Twitch is also WeAreExilium. My Twitch is Kaimberlyn, just like my name in Discord and everywhere else. My Twitter is Kaimberlyn1. You're welcome to DM me. I'm here to help if anyone has questions about any of our programs or anything like that. And then we can also be reached through email at weareexilium@gmail.com. So pretty soon we'll have a YouTube channel, but that's not quite done yet.
Dan, how can people get a hold of you?
Okay, you can find me on the official Split Push Twitter at Split Push Podcast with no A because it was too long. Why did we have to pick such a long name? I don't know. Anyway, you can find me on the PlayStation at DirtXNapXDan, and then you can find me on the PC at DirtNapDan. Hit me up.
Beagle?
You can find me on Twitter at Beagle_Girl27 and PlayStation at Beagle_Girl2780.
Guy?
You
Dog's
can
done
find
barking?
me on, yeah, right, you got a cameo. You can find me on Twitter at GSmitey. You can find me on PlayStation at GuyAJ78, and you can find me on Xbox at GuyAllSmitey.
Oh, Guy. What's coming up next week?
Oh, we have from all you listeners from Defend Middle Lane is now SideQuest Arcade. We have Micro Manatee and his dad Macro Manatee coming on the show.
High five! Got a pair of manatees coming. Looking
pod.
forward to this. And
Not many podcasts
manatees.
can say
It's a
that they've had a
pod,
pair
yeah.
of manatees on.
there you go.
How many
We'll see how that
podcasts
works.
can say that? You know?
Well, I don't know if his dad got on Nerds yet or not. They were talking about it the other week. That's why I brought up. I'm like, hey man, if they haven't given him the opportunity yet, we will. All right. So hey, you can find me, good old Dirt Naps Dad here on Twitter and on the PlayStation at dirt_naps_dad. We do have community at splitpushpodcast.com for the email. Make sure you hit them like buttons, subscribe buttons, the heart buttons, the follow buttons, the bell notifications. Leave some comments. Tell us how much you love us. Tell us how much we suck. I don't care. Let it hang out. We do this show for you. If we're missing the mark, let us know, man. Otherwise, I'm just standing here talking to a brick wall for nothing. But hey, I enjoy it, so that's why we do it. Last thing, when it comes to dirt naps, you gotta give them before you take them. When all else fails,
Split push.
Push.